Mr. Bhasin, thank you so much for joining us. Define disruption. What does it mean to you?
Disruption, I think, to me means unmet needs or unanticipated needs. You know, doing things in a way that nobody could have ever thought of earlier, providing a level of convenience which is unimaginable currently, given how we've used these services in the past, doing it at a cost level which is a fraction of what it was perhaps earlier, or a convenience level, or a time level. That's to me what disruption is. I think it'll have many definitions over the course of the next 10 years.
From a leadership point of view,
Yep.
what are the challenges that disruption poses?
Huge, you know. I think as you think about strategy as a CEO, I think it's very hard to anticipate where the next wave is going to come from. In the IT world, why doesn't machine learning really take over most coding and programming at some point in time? It will. It will. In manufacturing, why wouldn't 3D printing start taking an effect? And by the way, it's happening. You know, if you go to the US, why wouldn't driverless cars come in and do something different, you know? So I think it poses a lot of challenges. It shortens the time frame within which you can think of strategy. So earlier you might have had 5 to 7 year strategies. I think those start becoming meaningless. Now it's 3 to 5 years and things like that.
What are the challenges that it poses from a people point of view, you know, from the workforce point of view?
Yes. I think culturally you've got to get used to people taking risks. One of the things we suffer from in India is I don't think Indians take risk very easily. We're very safe. We like our homes. We're very settled people, you know. Stay within the family, etc. Don't be too aggressive. I think we need to learn how to take risks. So you've got to build a culture where people are willing to experiment, fail, try again, experiment, fail, and really take some personal, career, business, product risk to try out new things. I'm not sure we do that very well today.
From the jobs point of view, how do you think things will change, you know, with this whole disruption wave?
You know, I don't think it'll be as disruptive to jobs as we think it will be. I think this is going to take time. By the way, I think in disruption, we're at 0.5 on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of where we are on the journey. That journey is going to be 20 years before we get to the end. I don't think jobs are going to be disruptive as much, only because this takes time. And by the way, there are new opportunities created just as much for every new disruptive technology. You know, if you think about the iPhone and what it did, which I think truly was a disruptor, it allowed the music business to thrive in a way it was dying through piracy, etc. Suddenly you could sell one song at a time. Suddenly you could buy music anywhere. And it revived the music industry, got them back their royalties, etc. So it actually created more opportunity. I'm not convinced by this talk that all opportunity will be on the downside and will kill jobs.
Will digital drive technology or will technology drive digital?
I don't know. I thought they were the same thing, but obviously I'm old-fashioned. I think consumers will drive technology. I think industry experts will drive this process of disruption. They are the ones who know where the weaknesses are, where there is a lacuna, where there is a real problem in an industry which needs a solution that hopefully today technology and a combination of connectivity, etc. will provide.
What will this wave of disruption do to planning? You know, will plans be relevant? Will they be as easily executed? Or how will things change?
You know, I always came from a philosophy that planning was pretty useless anyway. You know? I've never built a plan which was accurate. And I haven't come across a startup plan which held past the first 3 months. So I think it'll allow us to think much more. You know, financial planning can be the bane of innovation. And if you read some good books on innovation by Clayton Christensen and many other people, they will say that financial metrics kill innovation every time. Because you're trying to subject something brand new and different to the same metrics as an established product. It doesn't work. So I just think that whole process of planning will be different. And you'll have to talk a lot more about the market than it is about financial metrics. How that will play out with shareholders, though, I think is a different question, and I think it's going to be a problem. But you know, BlackRock, recently I saw, their CEO, sent a message to companies saying, get away from quarterly guidance, guys. Just do annual, help us a little bit on the results, but focus on your annual results. Don't focus on quarterly results. And he was encouraging, companies to not be that short-term focused. So I hope some of those changes will happen as people realize that a long-term plan or even a short-term plan is actually fairly useless.
So far, technology has largely been used to provide solutions for known problems.
Yes.
How do you see this playing out as far as unknown problems are concerned?
Yeah. I think that's the most exciting part, right? Unknown problems or unknown needs, I would say, rather than problems, unanticipated needs. So there's so many things that we do every day, if you think about it, that are really painful. So going through security systems everywhere is painful. Why do you need it? You have sensors, you have detectors. Why do you need to go through this full palaver at the airports and of cars and hotels and everything else? So there are things like that which should just get swept out of the way over time with really terrific technology. There are other things also that we should be doing. How you watch, how do you entertain yourself, how do you watch movies, do you go to a cinema hall, how do you go through that process? That is changing. But even today, I don't think the impact is as broad as I think it will be one day in terms of the things you do. I think lastly, in the creative process, I think it's going to be interesting what artists and others do with technology. How do they create new versions of art? How do they create new versions of their thinking? It's just beginning to happen, and it's fantastic to watch it happen. So it's quite amazing.
From the consumer's point of view, what do you think will change in 2016?
In 2016, I'm not sure that other than taxis, I'm not sure how much else will change. I think you've got a lot of airlines and the flights, and I don't think other things are changing that much, certainly here. How we all use technology will change because we're all getting better at it. I think it's becoming commoditized. Technology will become commoditized. Everybody will be able to use it. I liken it to electricity. You plug it in and you use it. It's a bit like your laptop today. You plug it in and start using it. And I think that's where the real changes are in our personal habits and in the personal work-life balances, in how many times you look at your iPhone every day.
All right, Mr. Bhasin. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.